Watch me ride.
Hey everybody, well I'm just loving life. This is the most gorgeous riding weather. You know, it's like being in the south of France. No, it's friggin' horrible. But I believe a lot of you got snow, and we didn't get that. And as much as I do want snow, it would cause a lot more problems. Oh my god, is it cold though. I've even cracked out the buffalo gloves. Bought these. These are the very first gloves I ever bought. I think it was these ones. Yeah, it was when I got my first bike, and I thought, yeah, they'll do. I had no idea about any of this stuff, and I just went, yeah, it's gloves. And then within about 5 minutes of first riding the bike, realised, no, I need proper gloves. These are stupid. But I kept them because they're supposed to be windproof and waterproof. They're a bit of both, but not all that you would hope. Well, they were cheap, I remember, back then. A long time ago. Long time ago. Jesus Christ, it is a long time ago. Oh, I mean, I was 21, 20... I was like 21, 22, and I'm now 32 because it was my birthday yesterday. Thank you for all your kind messages. I just checked my PayPal later in the day and found half a dozen people had sent me a couple of quid each. Well, you basically bought my bottle of rum that I drank on my birthday, so thank you. That was really kind of you. But yeah, so I've had these nearly 10 years, which means I've been riding for nearly 10 years. Right, well I'm going to the post office because I'm sending a clock out. Oh, 1 clock sent winging its way to America. There's more clocks on the store if you're interested, and there's loads of keychains left. Hint, hint, keychains, buy keychain. Buy keychain! Oh yeah, something else. The other day I come out of this local shop and look at the back of the bike. This is literally a couple of days after I put the Metzler video up, and there is a screw sticking out of the tyre, and I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Well, I noticed the head of the screw. It was a sheet metal screw, little like quite a short one. And I noticed when I touched it, it was really wobbly, and it's so lucky. It went in at a really steep angle, so it went through the meat that way, so not into the tyre as such. And I've kept an eye on it, and I did like the bubble test and everything on it, and I absolutely got away with it. Don't know how. It's like it started going in and then just went sideways. So that was good. An umbrella, it is. I had a thought the other night, right? You know how dreams may feel like they can take, several hours to happen, but they actually in reality only last a few minutes. They can tell from your sort of, REM sleep and all that. Well, if that's true, that means our perception of time can be vastly modified, because you must super speed everything up in your brain when you're unconscious. But it feels like the normal speed of life. It's very weird. And I was starting to think about this. So, time is a thing. Because I think I've heard from before now, people have said things like, time doesn't exist. It's just a concept that we came up with. And I think it's like, I get what people say about that. But isn't entropy proof that, time is a thing? It is the fourth dimension. That's the one thing, actually, that I think is different from my childhood. When I was young, I was told I lived in a three-dimensional place. But it's 4 dimensions. Because you can pinpoint a location in space, as it were, because you can have, up, down, left, right, the 3 axes. But you haven't tracked time. And so if you sort of, stick to that one point, it then creates a straight line through time. Presumably. Maybe it's not straight because of gravitational waves and stuff. Basically, I just had this thought the other night. It was like, isn't it weird how our perception of time is the way that it is? Could something happen that meant that you just... I suppose it's because we have to think and respond, and we work on the speed of our eyes and stuff, so there is a set. It's as fast as our brains can process things. It's our experience of time, which means that if other animals... Well, they do actually, don't they? Because flies... see a much faster frame rate than we do. So a TV to them is a series of still pictures rather than what we see as a blurred together thing, because that's basically how it all works out. It's the processing of your brain, how fast everything works. So that, I guess, comes down to what your perception of time is, and maybe because you're making it in your head and not actually using your senses to work these things out, that's why our perception of time is the speed that it is. But a minute to us is not a minute to a minute. fly. Well, this was an interesting vlog. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for my messages. Bye.